Welcome back everybody, thank you for watching another video. Today we're going to be having a look at the Lifetime 55 quart high performance cooler. So one of the things I'm having issues with is how I'm going to keep my food from spoiling and keeping my drinks cold when I get up to Yellowstone. My options of course are getting a cooler or getting a portable refrigerator. Now my general thinking is because I'm not going to be out there for that long, I think I might be able to get by with using a cooler if I can find one that can keep ice for around 5 to 7 days. And according to the Lifetime label on the cooler, it should keep ice for at least 7 days. So what we're going to do in this video is go over the features of the cooler and then I'll go over the results of the testing. Now if you want to see the actual testing itself, I'm going to upload a separate video for that because it went over multiple days. I tried it a number of different ways. And the video by itself, just for the testing, is about 10 minutes long. So let's get into the features of the cooler. Alright, the two features I want to show off in this area is number one, this is a certified bear resistant cooler. So if you're going into a national park that requires it, this cooler will meet that need. Second, these straps are very easy to use. You basically can do it with one finger. You're going to just flip this up and it becomes undone. Some of the other ones you really got to kind of crank it up and then take it out that way. To put it back on, you're just going to flip this up and then just simply press it down. They do recommend, if you're going to be storing it, that you do store it down like this so you don't stretch out the rubber tabs. But these are so easy to use. Alright, moving over to the center of the cooler, there's a place where you can put a lock here. This also acts as a bottle opener here. Now, an improvement they made over the last version is that they put the gasket on the lid as compared to down on the actual cooler body itself. If you watch the review video or the testing, you're going to see me roll this over, and it did a pretty good job of stopping water from escaping. It wasn't airtight, it wasn't totally waterproof, but it does a pretty good job. It was a good move putting the gasket on the lid as compared to on the cooler itself. And if you're wondering if this is a solid lid, there's not a lot of flex when you sit or stand on it. Another nice feature about the cooler itself is it has these corded handles, which makes it very easy to carry either with one or two people. It makes it very flexible, and you have these nice molded handles. And over to the drain hole. It's nice to have the cap tethered to the cooler itself so you don't lose it. And you can also thread a hose in here to keep the water draining at all times so you don't have to worry about tipping the cooler over to drain the water. Alright, so here's a look at the sticker on the cooler. The thing I want to point out is how they worded this right here. This says up to 7 days of ice retention. It doesn't say that it will guarantee store ice up to 7 days. It can have ice retention for up to 7 days, and that's going to be important as we're going to see. So those are all great features, and the cooler certainly looks the part. However, it didn't do very well. So here's what I found in my testing. Remember, if you want to see the actual testing video, I'll leave a link for it right up here. So here's what happened. I got the cooler home, filled it with 20 pounds of ice, put maybe 5 or 6 drinks in it, and set it in the garage. Temperature, I think, was around 90 to 100 degrees. And after 3 days, the ice was completely gone. Now remember, on the sticker, it says up to 7 days of ice retention. And I really wanted to try to see if I could push this cooler to get up to 7 days of ice retention. So I went back to the store, got 2 20-pound bags of ice, put it in the cooler, got about 5 or 6 drinks, put it back in the garage. I think during that testing, the garage got up to 95 to 105 degrees. And still, after 3 days, the ice was completely melted. So as a last gasp thought to myself, I figured, well, maybe it did get too hot in the garage. Maybe it got to, I don't know, 115 or 120 and I wasn't measuring it. So I figured, you know what, let's give it one last chance. I'm going to put the cooler in my house, keep it right around 80 to 85 degrees and see what happens. So I got 20 more pounds of ice, put it in there with like 5 or 6 drinks, but the same thing happened. Even indoors, 80 to 85 degrees. After 3 days, the ice was completely melted. So maybe if you're in the market for a new cooler and you're walking around Walmart and you see the Lifetime brand hanging out there, maybe you want to avoid that if you're going to be out there for an extended amount of time. Guys, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.